No, don't cry.
Bismillah.
Yeah, apparently I'm like giving up on the microphone.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
Asta.
Yeah. So, it's yeah, payah, payah, payah. I did set it up and then entah ada noise bah. I'm not sure how to get rid of the noise. But yeah. So you can hear your voice. Okay. So,
Oh, here's,
oh yeah,
so
sure,
it's
sure.
not as clear.
What the hell is this?
Masukkan behind your ear.
Oh, oh okay. Oh, ni pun ada noise. But better than the mic tadi. You know what? That's a good idea. I should probably like have a monitor here as well. Let's go ahead.
If you want to speak down, this is actually like for your phone.
Nah, that's okay. That's
Do you
okay.
want to
It's,
mute it?
um, no, I think
Kedengaran music.
yeah. But can you see how many people are logged into the Belum.
Belum.
Belum ah. Okay. Ada dorang akan bagi like reminder email or whatever.
Oh, we did.
Okay, cool, cool. Yeah, so probably like waiting for ngam-ngam pukul 2:30, right? Cool. La 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 la. LiveWIRE. Nope. LiveWIRE Brunei. First one was Georgia. Have you contacted them yet? Ada orang sudah kah? Lagi ada orang tu.
But it's recorded.
Oh, we can do. We can. I think we can trim, right? But there's two watching now. Oh, gila. The leg is not that long anymore. Last time, gila. It's just like 20 seconds.
One of the time. And you
Lagging.
want to share
Yeah.
plus all the connection.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. T minus 10 minutes.
10 minutes to go. Okay, I'll mute lah for now. Audio. Hello, welcome to LiveWire's Introduction to Entrepreneurship and LiveWIRE Brunei, streaming live. So before we begin, I'm just checking with chat. That's on my chat is 6 people. So just tell me if your your quality is okay, your video quality, your audio quality, whether you can read the slides, whether you can play around with the chat, and also if you just share if you're using an Android device or an iPhone device or your laptop. So just have a play with that for a while before I begin. So note this is our first time, so there's a lot of things that we need to check out. Although we have tested a few times, but you never know when we do live. So testing. Okay, that's just me posting by my own. Baru keluar. Oh, cool. Okay, I can see the participants. Oh, hello. Okay, I can see now dari Bazila, dari Wazna, dari Hurin. Okay, so it looks like we're on. Everyone seems to be able to participate. So keep in mind this is more of a live stream rather than a workshop. So what I'm gonna cover is introduction. So introduction to the series and myself, and then introduction to business and entrepreneurship. And then mostly we're gonna be talking about process of starting a business in Brunei specifically, and then sharing with you the LiveWire programs and activities. And I will cover again or remind again the upcoming streaming content that we're planning for 2022. And at the end, if we have time or if there's a lot of questions, we can just have some question answers, maybe even chat lah, chat through the chat feature lah. So, introduction to the stream. Okay, so the series of entrepreneurship topics I'll share later. And then the snippets of those topics will be used for video content for online referral. There has been a lot of requests from our previous participants to have an online content that they can refer to. So this is another reason why we're doing this. And then the topic shared will be summary of the workshop content. So what I'm sharing here is just the summary of the workshops that we do, the master classes, the bright ideas, the business plan series. So I'll be referring back to those as well. And then I'll try to keep in mind to keep this interactive as I can using discussions and Q&A between main topics. So if you have any questions, just post your questions on chat. And if I can manage, I'll go back to those chats and answer those questions after I cover those topics. And last but not least, you may share the live link. So again, the link for this LiveWire streaming, you can share with other people. It's better late than never if you want to share with more people about this stream. So just checking. Salam ada bagi salam. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Mukri ada berita video okay, audio okay, slide readable, chat is working fine. Thank you and device Android. Thank you for being very comprehensive. Okay, so this is my planned future content for the whole year 2022. So January today is the introduction to entrepreneurship and business. February is business ideas, ideation and opportunities. March, legal processes, legal considerations in doing business in Brunei. April, sources of funding will be looking at how you can get funds in Brunei, if it's your own money or not. And then May, we'll be looking at business model canvas and business planning. June, we'll be looking at market research. This will be very extensive. July, we'll be looking at marketing strategies, whether it's online or offline. August, looking at operations, the process of running a business, the flow, and action plan, how to execute your plan. And then in September, organization and managing your teams. We'll probably put a few HR stuff in there. And then October, business finances, financial planning and management. So we'll be looking at profit and loss, cash flow, and so on. And November and December, a bit of bonus a bit. So November using ICT for business. I noticed when we do workshops, a lot of the participants do not use ICT very effectively. Disappointing for me. But that's why I'm here. So I like to share what we can do. So like using Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and then in December we'll be doing presenting and pitching. So when whether you have a business plan, you pitch, or if you are selling your product and services, you're pitching to your customers. So those are the planned content for every month for our streams, minimums. We might be doing extra content if that's necessary. Maybe potentially even do a podcast like interview with people if there's a request for it. So, introduction to myself. I think some people might know me, but I'll just share anyway. So, my full name is Muhammad Fadilah Tudun bin Haji Hassan, alias Muhammad Hasbullah Bobby. Just call me Bobby for short. Just don't call me baby. So, I am an entrepreneur. I've done a few businesses. I'm also an endurance athlete. I like to swim, bike, and run. Usually, I prefer to go slow, not fast. And then I'm also an enthusiast. I like to learn about things. Specifically, it's business, IT, and science. And above all things, apparently, I like to share. I like to help people. I like to educate. So whatever I learn, I like to bring it down, bring it to other people as well. I feel like whatever I know is probably it has been useful for me, and it's probably useful for other people as well. So I like to share. And then formal and informal education. This is where it's quite interesting. My formal education is actually quite strange. In my younger years, I was from Islam Brunei, so I am well versed in religious studies. But then I moved on to SOAS College, where I was more focused on the science stream. And in UBD, I actually learned to become a chemistry and maths teacher. So my background is in the sciences. But informally, I've learned entrepreneurship from Pusat Sumber dan Pembangunan Kesawanan in Sinaut. This was under Ministry of Primary Resources and Primary Resources, MIP, Ministry of Primary Resources, but now MPRT, Ministry of Primary Resources and I forgot transport. That's not right. MPRT. Well, it was MIP and now MPRT. Yeah. But now the entrepreneurship has moved on to EDC. The EDC Entrepreneurship Development Center has been moved to DARE, Dar es Salaam Enterprise. And then I was also a participant of LiveWIRE, and I've taken a few workshops under there as well, just for fun. In addition, I've learned a few, I would say, psychological tactics, techniques to improve myself from a lot of other places. Learned my education in Singapore, Money and You in Malaysia, and Industry Rockstars. So those are my education and my work and business experience. Starting from 2006, I was a graphic designer, and 2007 until 2010, I was actually running my own business, but freelance, I was teaching ICT. And then 2011, I've been working as a business counselor for LiveWIRE Brunei. So that's my work experience. But in terms of entrepreneurship, I've been in the food business, the food stalls, gerai malam, gerai perayaan, gerai pasar malam, gerai Ramadan, and so on. 2006 internet cafe. It was actually a dying business. So I bought a dying business. I didn't know it was a dying business, and then I converted into computer school. I had the computers, so I just converted that to a computer school, and thankfully that was sustainable for the next 3 years until I had to decide whether to continue or not the business. Because computers were becoming obsolete. So I had to make a decision and I decided to let it go. And that's when I worked for LiveWire 2011 until now. But on the side, I've still been doing business. 2014, I started a swimming school, Effortless Swim. So you might want to check that out as well. And 2015, I was on the side helping business consultation outside of LiveWire office hours. So that one I will charge. Within LiveWire office hours, it's practically free. So, introduction to entrepreneurship. I'm just checking the chat if there's any questions. Okay. Um, okay, no questions so far. Okay, again, reminder, if you have any questions regarding starting a business in Brunei, please do so, please ask. Or if you have any comments, just chat. If you want to chat amongst yourselves, that's okay as well. So, introduction to entrepreneurship. So, what is business? What is entrepreneurship? There are several words that you might have seen being interchangeably used with business and entrepreneurship. One word is trading. That's just simply buying and selling. So, you're buying an item and then you're selling at a higher price. Business is trading as well, but it's more long term. Trading can be short term, while business is a long term endeavor. And then entrepreneurship is usually reserved for new type of businesses, whether it's new in that country or new in that area. So it's an enterprise. So the entrepreneurship is the venture itself, the enterprise is the organization. And then startup, generally any business that's less than 1 year, usually new businesses, although some people have defined it as less than 3 years. And then you've seen the terms SME, MSME, and NMSME. So previously it's just SME or small medium enterprises, and then there's micro small enterprises. So usually just less than 5 people, and then now there's nano micro SME. So that's usually including the one person business or the one man show or the super employee. So that's basic terms, basic words that are used for entrepreneurship and business. Now, just to add the reasons of entrepreneurship. So some of you looking at this might have your own reasons. So these are the general reasons that people start their own business. So the first one is for yourself. So it's to earn a living and follow your passion. Some people would like to get more money or get money in itself. Some people find it hard to get a job, so they start their own business. And in some cases, like myself, even though I was working for LiveWire, there's still a few things I followed, and then eventually it became a business itself. So following your passion. And then another reason for starting entrepreneurship is for other people. So you want to help other people. So you want to provide value or service to someone else, and you want to provide living for others. This is where you want to be the boss and you want to help out other people by giving them employment, giving them a living wage, so that they can help themselves while helping you and helping other people. And finally, for the greater good, usually for the community. Most small companies, they usually want to provide for the village or for the family and the surrounding areas. For the country, some people want to help develop the economy and ultimately maybe for the world. Or in some cases, potentially now, like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, for the solar system coming soon. So that's a reason for entrepreneurship. Okay, and then just checking again, some people might be coming in just recently. So this is introduction to entrepreneurship, and now I'm looking into business ideas and opportunities. Later, I'll be talking about the process of starting a business. If you have any questions, again, just ask in chat, and when I see the question, I'll try my best to answer them. So now, business ideas and opportunities. So coming up with business ideas. Some people might have an idea that they want to start into business, or some people might want to start business, but they don't have any ideas. So if you don't have any idea, these are things. These are the techniques that you can use to find a business idea. And for those who already have a business idea, you might use this to confirm to confirm that your idea is in the right path, in the right place. So so the first way is first method is vision. If you see the world in a certain way and you want to make it happen, and then there's purpose, whether it's what you love to do and you want to make it into business. The third one is market needs, You look into what people need. We'll talk more about that later on the opportunities part. And then providing that need, providing solution for that need and charging money for it. And more recently, most people are more focused on design thinking and problem solving, finding a problem. Technically, the same as the people's needs, but in the world, there's a lot of problems, and if you can find a solution to those problems, you can potentially get money, you can get value, you can get wealthy from solving those problems. So, in terms of vision, creating the world that you want to live in, you start with the vision that you want to have. The vision that you have that you want to make into a reality. One of my businesses, not import entrepreneur. So one of my businesses, Affiliate Swim. My vision is I want to see everyone being able to swim. So it has always been a frustration. But this is also related to passion. So I want to see people know how to swim because I'm actually frustrated when I hear people dying from drowning. Because I believe wholeheartedly that if someone knows how to swim, regardless, they'll be able to survive. Whether it's in the open water or I remember reading the news recently in the river. So I believe that people should be able to survive. I think because of the lack of swimming ability, they can't. They didn't survive. So my mission is to my mission is to provide swimming classes or awareness about water safety. And then from there, you can look into creating objectives and activities for the organization or for the business. So again, this is the vision, using your vision to create your business. So that's one way. The other way is passion. Purpose. Purpose. So it includes passion, skill, and money. So passion is what you love to do, what you love spending on, what you love spending your time or money on, and your effort on. And then your skill, what you're very good at. Most people, interestingly, are quite ignorant of what they're good at. So I would like to get people to become reflective or introspective. Identify what's your skill. Coming back to one of my businesses, the internet cafe and computer school, I was very good at computers. I love computers. So those were the two businesses I started off. The recent one is Effortless Swim. I love swimming, and I love teaching swimming. So that became a business. So if you love something and you have the skills, then you can make money out of it. So then you can make it as a business. Um, so again, on the skill, some people don't realize they're very good at something, but you know that you're very good at something if people ask you two things: either do something for them because they know you're good at it, or they want you to teach them that thing. You might look into your past, your recent history. What is it that people have asked you to help them with? So it's very likely that you're actually very good at it, but you don't realize it. The only thing that you have left to do is actually charge money for it. I started off my swimming school with teaching friends, but I couldn't afford to teach friends for free simply because every time they learn from me, they treat me food. So I gained weight. So I converted the free food to just asking for money. So then I made it into a proper business. Okay, so that's purpose. So finding ideas in terms of your purpose. And then there's Maslow hierarchy of needs. If you're like the person that loves to help people, if you're the person who loves to fulfill other people's need, if you like to please people, and then this is what you can look into. So you can look into people's physiological needs. By the way, this is from Maslow's hierarchy of needs. This is from sociology or psychology, where he theorizes these are what people need in order for them to not just survive but thrive. So the bottom one is physiological, so people need to live. So this is the most common business. So food and beverages, and recently for the COVID, there's medicine, vaccines. So what you need to live, what you need to survive. On top of that, you need security and safety. That's where we need houses, we need establishments, we need places to rest. And then social needs, our needs to have friends, family, to gather with other people, to have your own group, to have your own club. So you can actually make that into a business as well. And then self-esteem, the need for people to feel good about themselves. This is where, like running events, they have medals, or hobbies. So whatever our people are passionate about, they fulfill their passionate needs, and it makes them feel good about themselves. This is where usually hobby or interests come in. And then self-actualization. So this is higher. This is where people need to develop themselves. This is where I think books come in. So this is why books are still a thing, because people want to improve themselves. Other than that, you want to expand yourself. So unfortunately, during COVID, we don't have the ability to fly as much as we can. But traveling is a way for us to expand ourselves, to improve ourselves as well. So that's Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And just checking chat. Ooh, Amal Jariah to teach people to how to swim and survive. Thank you. Yes. So that can also fulfill the people's need to survive in water. Okay. Next one is design thinking. So this is one of the workshops that we run as well, design thinking, and we follow this structure where we understand people's problems, empathize with the customer's problems, and then define those problems, clarify it, make sure what's the problem, then ideate, find out the solutions that come from that, the solutions that can solve those problems, and then prototype, to actually build something, whether it's just a prototype or a model, or even just a simple diagram, to help solve that problem and to test it out. So to test whether the customers actually feel it's useful, to test if there's a physical thing, to test whether it's usable. So this is actually an iterative process. So if you're interested, you can sign up to our master classes on design thinking, on basically solving problems, but creating something that solves people's problem and then making it into a business. Then business opportunities. So we're looking into ideation, and then back to market needs. Where are the business opportunities? So most people tend to look into the business to consumer business opportunities, or the B2C. So you're looking at selling retail, you're looking at selling to the individuals. But you can also look into B2B, business to business. So bigger organization, bigger businesses want to do business with other businesses. So a good example, Shell. Brunei Shell Petroleum provides oil and gas to BSM, BLNG first to liquefy it, BST to transfer it, BSM to market it. So they're selling to each other. So there's the supply chain. You might even be looking into consulting. So consulting a business is also B2B. So you can not just do business with individuals, you can do business with businesses as well. Most freelancers, like photographers, videographers, they can provide services not just to weddings, but also to corporate events. So that's B2B. Additionally, you can look into tenders, usually in the newspapers or on those company websites. You can look into the business opportunities that are available there. So similarly, business to government. So this shouldn't be a surprise. Uh, this shouldn't be new to anyone. But if you're new to this, then I highly recommend looking into Pelita Brunei. So that's where you can see a lot of government tenders. So you can see what are the business opportunities that are open by the government. But keep in mind, this is quite competitive. So maybe just have a look into that. Sometimes there's simple tenders like grass cutting or landscaping, or even supplying food or clothing. So there's a lot of opportunities in there. But keep in mind, the saying any bad about the government, but this is common knowledge that the government is not that good of a paymaster. So there's a sometimes delay. But of course, the government is trying to improve themselves. That's why they have the TPOR, or Dekat Pemulihan Orang Ramai. So they're trying to improve on those processes. So far it's being improved. The doing business in Brunei index for Brunei is actually quite good. So it's improving. So those are the business opportunities. So if you are still looking for business opportunities, you can actually ask around, or even consult with us, and check out. So you can easily just Google a lot of these business opportunities. Okay, so that's on business opportunities and ideation. So second last part is process of starting a business. So before I start this part, I'll be checking the chat. Is anyone commenting or asking any questions? Okay, so far, okay. Okay, so next is process of starting a business. I like to summarize with this diagram. So whenever you start a business, I think for someone who's not familiar, this will be useful. For those who have for those who have started and run a business, this will be very familiar. So the order might change, might switch here and there, but in general, this is basically everything that you need to know in starting and running a business. So we previously covered on ideation, so finding a business idea. So everything starts with an idea. Everything starts in the mind. Everything starts with the person. So next, what you need to do is to plan and prepare for it. So whether it's a simple jot on paper or a proper business plan, and then from there, with the business plan, you can get funding, whether it's from a bank or from an investor. And then you might be looking to legal requirements such as registering your business and the licenses involved. And then rental and expenses, all the things that you need to spend on with the funding that you've procured. And assets and stocks purchase, similar to the expenses, but this is more of the things that you need to buy in order for you to sell. Then operations and organization, what you need to do, what do you need to have, or who do you need to have in running the business. And then marketing and sales, making money in the business. And finally, admin and finance. This is something that most people don't really look at. They usually just look into the operations and sales. But most businesses will lack in the admin and finance. So we'll be looking at a bit more in depth. But again, reminder: some of this can be learned in depth, more in depth, with joining a few LiveWIRE workshops. So I'll be sharing those again later. So, planning and preparation. One of the things that we share, that we teach in LiveWire, our masterclass, is the business model canvas. Of course, you can probably learn this by yourself. There's a lot of resources as well. The originator of the business model canvas is Strategizer. So you can check strategizer.com to have this high quality business model canvas. So from the word itself is business model. How does your business look like? What's the model? So in here you can see in the center value proposition, basically the product and services. On the far right, you can see customer segments, who you're selling to. And then in between those is the channels and customer relationship, how you reach them and how you keep them. And on the left, you have the key activities, what you're doing, key resources what you need to have in order to do what you need to do, and the key partners, the people that you need in order to do all the things that you do. Sometimes um, you have to rely on other people. Even simple retail, you need to have a supplier. So those are your partners as well. And then on the bottom is the cost and revenue structure. So this gives an interesting overview of how your business would look like. In fact, this has almost replaced the other form of planning, which is the business plan itself. Almost, but most bankers will still want to look at the business plan. Some investors, especially the more recent or more sophisticated investor, will be satisfied with just a business model canvas, which then they will ask for a business plan. So next one is business plan. So again, we have another workshop called business plan series. So we teach this in a 2-day workshop, morning and afternoon, and we teach it in a practical way that you actually have a business plan by the end of the workshop. So we teach about how to create a business profile, listing down your products and services, understanding your market through market research, how to do your marketing, the operations and organization, and then the finance in terms of profit and loss, startup costs, cash flow, and future plans. So again, this is just an outline. For more information, you can join our business plan series. Again, check our LiveWire website or IG for updates. Okay, so that's on business planning and preparation. Checking with chat. Again, if anyone have any questions, just ask. So I don't see any questions so far. Okay. So next, funding. So we've gone again. We'll look at the process again, but a bit more in depth. So funding. Where can you get funding? So we actually have another masterclass called Raising Capital, I think. Raising Capital Masterclass. So that's where you can find out more about funding. But briefly, I can share what you can do to get funding. Is first and foremost, the easiest one is your own capital. This is technically the easiest one, but not the simplest one. It's your own money. So either you have your own savings or you do small business to build up your own funding and so on. So basically your own money. But most people want to do more. So if you want to do more to accelerate yourself, to leverage yourself, then you need to use other people's money. So that's where the rest comes in. It's the investors, bank loan, and grant and awards. So investors, the simplest ones are your friends and family. Of course, there's a saying, friends, family, and fools. I'll just omit the fools. So investors are other people who are willing to put their money into your business. Usually, you'll have to pitch to them your business idea, to explain to them your business idea before they are willing. If they're good family or rich family, you just tell them you have an idea, they'll just give you money. If you're lucky, please inform me, please share with me their contacts. And the third one here is bank loan. So several banks in Brunei. So the main ones are BIBD and Baiduri. Potentially, you can also go for the other banks like Thai Bank of China, Maybank, but they have their own terms and conditions. So easily you can get, well, not easily, easily the two more likely candidates for bank loan is BIBD and Baiduri. Again, terms and conditions apply. And then there are grants and awards. So through governments and NGOs like Yayasan, you might be able to get grants. So basically, this is a gift to people to start a business. So example is Yayasan, they have Usahawan Belia Yayasan. They provide a small amount of money, seed capital, up to $5,000 for people who are underprivileged to start and run a business. And in addition, awards, LiveWIRE, we have our own business awards competition. So if you join the business plan competition, you provide your business plan, you present, you may win some cash prizes. Not just awards, but also hackathons. So I think the prizes ranges, but it can go from $2,000 to $5,000, depending on your categories and the position. So you can actually use that amount of money to start your small business. But if you're looking for huge amounts of money, then it's usually just the bank loans. I forgot to mention. So grants, there's something called co-matching grant from Darussalam Enterprise. You can actually find out more on that on Darussalam Enterprises website. So that's sources of funding. Anyone have any questions of where to get funding? No questions. Okay. Yeah. Okay, moving on. So, assets purchase and expenses. So, what are the things that you need to buy? Okay, it depends on whether you're a production or a services business. Production is where you create something, you create a product. So you need raw materials to process and then sell them. Well, services where you provide services to customers. Something that you might want to consider is something called bootstrapping. So if you don't have a lot of capital, this is an option where you can just use whatever is available, the cheapest method. So example, like a food business, you don't have to buy a whole kitchen set. You just use the kitchen at your home. Of course, there'll be some issues with that, but that's the simplest way someone can start a business, a food business. Just use your own kitchen, and then looking at whether it's an existing business or a new business. So an existing business might just want to expand, but most people are starting a new business, so there's a lot of things that you need to buy from scratch. You have to consider or understand the terms capital expenses and operational expenses. So capital expenses is when you start off, where you buy fixed assets, the things that you need to start off your business. While operational expenses are the things that you have to pay every month. So some people neglect or ignore the operational expenses. Once they start off, then they realize there's a lot of expenses after. So it falls under the operational expenses consists of fixed costs and variable costs. Fixed costs are the things like electricity bills, electricity bills, water bills, and so on. And variable costs are, in general, the raw materials you need to buy in order to sell. So the more you sell, the more you need to buy. So that's why it's called variable costs. So those are the things that you need to to purchase, to pay for in business. And legal procedures. So the legal items, the legal things that you need to do, simply it's just these two main things: registrations and licenses. So registration is your identification. It was previously under Registrar of Companies (ROC). It still is, but now is processed by this website ocp.mofi.gov.bn. So nowadays we can actually register online. We don't actually have to go to a government office to register. We can just register online. So just check the website out. And then once you have a registration, doesn't mean that you can easily do your business. Most business can be done easily, like retail business. But certain businesses might require licenses and approval. Simple one is like a restaurant. You might need a halal certification for your restaurant business. So more info on licenses and approval, you can go under business.mofe or mofi.gov.bn. So there's a list of licenses and approvals that you can apply for within that website. So again, different businesses might require different licenses. So again, food was halal. If you're a tuition school, it's under Ministry of Education. Uh, and if it's an event or even a concert, that's under Home Affairs and so on. So you can find out more information from that part. And then for more, if you want to know more about legal stuff in Brunei, whether it's business or not, is all under the Attorney General Chambers office on the website agc.gov.bn. So those are the legal procedures. Okay. Next is operations and organization. So this is combined. So operations is generally what you need to do in the business. Most small businesses don't think too much of this, but if you're planning to grow, then you have to identify what are your processes. So in big businesses, this is called the standard operating procedure. But nowadays with COVID, most people think SOP means something against something that you do for COVID. It has existed before COVID. It's just more highlighted since COVID. So operations, what you need to do in the business. So this is a simple three-step diagram. This is the simplest way of looking at operations, but it can be more complicated than that. Once you understand your operations, you can then look into organizations. Who do you need in business? So previously, operations is what you need to do in the business, while organization is who you need in the business. So for small companies or nano micro SMEs, you can actually just do everything yourself. That is possible, but it's quite a heavy job. But you can't do everything yourself. So example, for a simple nasi katak business, you can probably do with one or two persons. But once you grow into a restaurant and catering, you'll probably have to hire more. So it's best if you can identify who do you need in that business. So that's organization, and then sales and marketing. So sometimes some people forget about this. They just open up their shop without thinking of how to promote their shop. So sales and marketing is quite important. So a few things that you need to know or need to understand are these. So marketing funnels. This has actually quite recent. It's also called sales funnel or marketing process. So it's the three main processes of marketing. So first part is lead generation, getting people to know you. Sales is to convert people from visitors to buyers, and fulfillment to have that exchange and then keep your customers. So any marketing strategies will include these three processes. So your marketing can be either online or digital marketing, or it can be offline marketing. But regardless whether it's digital or online versus offline, there's always sales. So sales is where you actually exchange the product for cash. You need to exchange so the product or service for cash. So this requires a bit of selling. If it's offline marketing, you actually have to do one-to-one sales. So salespeople are usually trained to do this, to make sales. While if it's online, you have to make the website or the IG interesting enough that people want to buy. So that's still sales. It's just a digital sales. Past that, once you get past the sales and pitching, then you have to consider customer services and relationship. So if you want to grow more, you need to keep your customers, you need to retain your customers, you need to make them a repeat customer. So that's why a few businesses have those loyalty cards, so you tend to buy more often from them. And ultimately, when you do sales, you need to record. Uh, Thankfully, in the digital age, we have technically recorded every of our interactions with our customers, especially if you're using email or using social media or using WhatsApp. You actually have a customer database. So that's probably your most valuable asset in your business. You have a lot of customers when people approach you, when people ask you questions, when people purchase from you, you have a database of your customers. So you can use those customer database to actually promote to them again or ask them to share with their friends and family. So one of your important assets. In fact, one good example I like to share is WhatsApp. WhatsApp is used for free, but it was uh, somehow not making money, but it was bought over by Facebook. But what makes WhatsApp so valuable was its database of customers, the telephone numbers. So that's why Facebook valued WhatsApp. It's the telephone numbers. They didn't have your telephone numbers before. They have your email, they have your name, but they never linked it to your phone numbers. But with WhatsApp, they connected those information. So that's how valuable it is. If you look into WhatsApp's history, how it was purchased by Facebook. Oh, sorry, it's not Facebook anymore. It's now Metaverse. And almost done, admin and finance. So the back end, most of the things that people don't think about during business is the admin and finance. So in planning, there's the startup costs, the sales forecast, the profit and loss, the cash flow, the balance sheet, and the return on investment in planning. But in operations, there's a few things that you need to keep track of. One example is point of sale. So when you do sales, you need to keep track the finances. You need to keep track the transactions, buying and selling. And when you're doing business to business, there's the purchase order, the quotation, the invoices, and so on. And once you have those transaction, you have to keep track of the money and then probably how you're gonna spend that money. So that's where budgeting comes in. And looking at on your stocks purchase, you have to make sure everything is in stock, or else you won't be able to do business. And then there's the paying of the rental fees, the bills, and the salaries. So, and in the back end, what most people don't realize when they do business, or sometimes when some people do business but they fail to do it, is the keeping of financial records. Keeping in mind, recently Brunei government has required even small businesses to keep financial records. I think up to 3 or 5 years. They will be emailing you your registered email for your business on requesting for your financial records. So failure to do so, you might be fined. So just keeping that in mind. So you need to prepare financial statements. And in other cases, in terms of admin, you need to do HR management, especially if you have a bigger business, if you're handling other people, you have to handle their leaves, their salary, their bonuses, their other compensations. So that's on admin and finance. Okay, so finally, we have about LiveWire. Just checking on the participants. No participants at this point. We'll just edit that out. Okay. I'm tempted just to skip through, or should I just record this and then make it for a recording saja? Macam mana ni? I'm just checking with my teruskan saja and then we just record it. Okay. So boleh snippet saja. Okay. So about LiveWire. So LiveWire is part of Shell. So in our part, it's called Shell LiveWire Brunei, and our history started in 2001, where it was established in response to Brunei Darussalam Economic Council, or BDEC, to support infrastructure for enterprise development. And then we've had courses such as the Bright Ideas, the BSOM, following the Shell International, Shell Level International. And then 2008, we introduced our own programs, like the Leadership Camp. And in that time, we also had the LiveWire Business Network, LiveWire Business Network, where we have alumni of the participants, the previous participants. to join us in activities. 2013, we had Brunei Entrepreneurship Education Scheme, or BEES, where we were working with MOE to develop entrepreneurs from childhood, from secondary schools. And then 2014, we were involved with Shell's the EBA, Energy Business Academy, where we funneled our participants to secure contracts with Brunei Shell joint venture. And in 2015, we reached a milestone of 10,000 participants. In 2016, in collaboration with the EBA, the energy program was launched. And then in 2017, we refreshed our objectives to align with the Shell LiveWIRE 2.0. And in 2018, we started off this is our startup funding scheme where 5 SMEs secured startup funding. And then 2019, we introduced the energy solutions, which also led to the master classes that we have now. And then agrobiz, we have agriculture project with IBTE Wasan or IBTE Agro Technology. And in 2021, we aim to deliver with impact to business and to community, which coincides with our 20th year anniversary. And Shell Level Vision and Mission, you can see our vision is where we our vision is to strengthen the local economies by promoting entrepreneurship, innovation, and meaningful employment. And the mission in relation to that is to stimulate the local economy through entrepreneurship, innovation, and meaningful employment. Every year, we support thousands of individuals to access the knowledge, skills, networks, and resources to turn the ideas into successful businesses. So we do this through workshops, masterclasses, talks, and even events. The Brunei Shell LiveWIRE Brunei objectives is to support the LiveWIRE Brunei objective in itself to develop entrepreneurial cultural skills and knowledge. And to do so, we need to become a center of excellence for enterprise development by offering opportunities which develop sustainable SMEs in the energy industry. And then to enhance access to finance, incubation, market linkages, technology, and mentorship. LiveWIRE Brunei is also working in collaboration with other organizations to achieve these objectives. And we measure our success by linking it to actual results and high value contribution to Brunei economy. We have 5 core areas of Shell LiveWIRE Brunei, which includes agriculture, digitalization, energy transition, smart manufacturing, and waste management. And in 2022, these are the programs that we currently have. So starting from Bright Ideas, our basic entrepreneurship program, Become Successful Owner and Manager Workshop, Business Plan Series, Leadership Camp, Visioning Workshop, and AgroBiz program. Then we have the BUS FS funding, the Higher Institution Entrepreneurship program, the Business Awards competition, the master classes, the mini workshops, and then the forum and dialogues, the business network, the LiveWIRE Business Network. And with Shell LiveWIRE International, we have the top 10 innovators. I think the next one is coming up soon. And then under LiveWIRE, we have a co-working space called eSuite. And then we have a mini business hours event called LiveWIRE Hackathon. And upcoming is Innovate Brunei. So more news about that soon. So if you have any questions at this point about LiveWIRE, please do so. Please ask. Okay. And then Shell LiveWIRE Brunei Masterclass. So these are 2 to 3 hour workshops that applies theories and practical activities to equip entrepreneurs with the fundamentals of business skills from various industries. The current focus are on entrepreneurship and digitalization, and currently we have 22 topics in total. So these are the masterclass contents. So we have the foundation entrepreneurship trainings. We have customer discovery. We have go-to-market strategy, and then we have access to finance. So more on financial literacy, financial intelligence, digital web presence, especially the e-commerce and social media marketing. We have one topic on human resource. It's not like strictly HR type of training. It's like basic human interaction or interpersonal skills on team management. And then we have one on impact and sustainability, on impact measurement, and Upcoming, we haven't done this one yet, but it's available on LiveWIRE International. It's Sustainability and Circular Economy 101. And apparently, a very well thought of masterclass is the pitching. So, a few people apparently are into pitching their business ideas, joining business competitions, not just from LiveWire, but uh, from other organizations like Dare on pitching. And additional topics we have is again our collaboration with IBT Agrotechnology is Introduction to Agripreneurship. Another program that we have is the Higher Institution Entrepreneurship Program. So we aim to equip students in higher institutions such as UTB, IBT, and UBD with entrepreneurs' knowledge and skills by providing live workshops, mainly the Bright Ideas and the Business Plan series. And we recommend them to join the business awards to kickstart their business idea. So we actually have a category for the higher institutions, so they can propose their idea and see how good they are. And then hackathon, LiveWire Hackathon, I call this a mini business awards. In general, this is a 3-day hackathon designed to stimulate the entrepreneurial capacity of the youth to work together, so they'll be in groups, to develop suitable solutions from a broader perspective, focusing on 5 core areas that was mentioned: agro-technology, waste management, digitalization, smart manufacturing, and energy transition. And our objectives is to boost the culture of innovation. So we don't just want like simple food and beverage ideas. We want to move past that. We want to do more than just food and beverage. So we want to further establish the exchange of ideas, efficient critical thinking, motivated by the passion for a common goal. And this is in order to align with Shell LiveWire's aim to support the development of youth entrepreneurs with access to resources and finances. So we want to provide opportunities for the participants to learn in the hackathon to develop their skills further for the future ready of work, the future work. And finally, to strengthen alumni and network engagement by empowering collaboration and access to opportunity. So once they've finished the hackathon, hopefully they can get mentorship from our alumni as well, so to help them move along. Then we have our Bright Ideas workshop. So this is our fundamentals, our basic entrepreneurship workshop. The aim is to raise awareness of self-employment and business startup as a realistic option among unemployed Bruneians, especially age 18 to 40. I just want to clarify, it's not just 18 to 40, it's just focus on them, but outside those are also accepted. It facilitates participants to think through the issues involved when starting a business. So it's not just the processes that I just shared with you, but it's also the psychological aspect to it. I'll probably cover that um, in the next live stream. And then to provide information about starting a business and to assist them to develop their business ideas and to introduce a framework of thinking when starting a business. Again, on the psychology of starting a business. It's not just the business itself. So next is the business plan series. Okay, this used to be a 4 half-day workshop, but in with the demand, it has been converted into a 2 full-day workshop, so morning and afternoon rather than just mornings. That's why it's called business plan series. So it gets participants to discuss and present their business plans. So they will learn what is a business plan, about an executive summary, creating their business profile, and calculating the initial startup costs. So this is a practical course. So by the end of it, they have all these items already for their business plans. So furthermore, they'll be learning about market strategy, organization operations, and financial management. Specifically, it's cash flow and profit and loss, and then they'll also be presenting their business plans. So in during the whole course, they will learn deeper about different types of products and services, how to do market research on it, identify their competitors, and utilize the tools to their advantage, such as the pest factors and the SWOT analysis. Become a successful owner and manager workshop. This is a 4-day workshop for participants wanting or wishing to progress further with building their business ideas into actual businesses. The program objectives include developing a business idea and doing associated market research, preparing a business plan and financial forecast. So this is brief from the business plan series workshop. Then running a business, including marketing, management, and financial control. We'll be inviting specific speakers to give talks on these, and understanding the Bruneian entrepreneurial ecosystem, where sometimes we invite different government departments to help you with other topics. The main ones that we've previously done is, for example, from Ministry of Religious Affairs on the halal process. We've also invited on intellectual property. If you want to trademark your logo and so on. So that's the BSOM workshop. And then we have leadership camp. This is a 3-day, 2 nights getaway. Usually we do it in Temburong. So the prime focus of the camp is to enhance and revitalize your energy, your enthusiasm, and refine your directions. And then lead you to the steps for progress and to lead. So this involves physical and mental challenges, and it aims to instill leadership qualities and building up future community leaders. Hence, therefore, it's leadership camp program. So this is usually promoted to those people who have attended the Bright Ideas workshop, the BSOM workshop, and for those who have already started their business or embark on their business. The other criteria for people to join this is they are required to be physically fit and to be enthusiastic to participate in the challenges, especially in managing time. So when people join this, they learn a lot more than just leadership itself. So that's leadership camp. Then visioning workshop. This is to establish committed individuals in an organization. So this is a lot similar to business plan series, but this is more on an organization or an NGO. So in the organization, all the individuals are to share their equal fundamental vision to drive the organization in realizing and accomplishing their vision. So there's as mentioned with the visions, the vision mission statement. So this is we can help to develop that. So once we do that, we can explore all venues of information, data, and knowledge. Equally share the findings to translate those visions into workable formulations. And this will drive the energy of the individuals and useful force every individual to fully participate and realize the organization's mission. And based on the formulations, it's using a proven system whereby all individuals can equally share the fruit of success. So everyone will benefit. And then to fully appreciate and participate in achieving the organization's vision. So again, that's why it's called Visioning Workshop. It focuses a lot on the vision, but not just on the vision, but on realizing that vision. So converting that vision into reality. Then we have the famous LiveWIRE Brunei Business Awards. So it's designed to reward and recognize outstanding young entrepreneurs in Brunei Darussalam who produce high quality business plans and conduct impressive business operations. So it's either people who start up or people who are already running their businesses. So the awards is an integral part of the LiveWire International Program organized all around the world. And usually, potentially, we will invite the winners either to join the BUS FS for funding opportunities or to join the international competitions that were mentioned, such as the top 10 innovators. And as mentioned, the Business Award Startup Funding Scheme is a funding scheme offered to the Business Award winners and participants from the Business Plan series. The amount of funding is a percentage of the initial capital to allow for immediate startup for the business. This ranges as low as $5,000 to a maximum of $50,000, and it is payable within 36 months with flexible terms of payment. The fund in general is interest-free, but the participants are reminded to pay. So this is funding, not a grant. We're borrowing money, yeah? But keep in mind that money is not just to give back to us, but in order for us to cycle back that money to help other entrepreneurs to start up their business. So the expectation is within the 36 months you pay back, and then once you pay back, it can be used for other entrepreneurs as well. Then the business network or the LiveWIRE Brunei Business Network, and we usually call it LWBN. It's a platform for interactions between LiveWIRE participants and other business communities. So we're aiming to create a community for our alumni to interact with each other, more of a networking opportunities for the alumni. So the LWBN It aims to have social and business interactions of previous and present participants to create opportunities to realize their completed business plans. Mentoring, usually the long time running business owner might be able to coach or mentor the young entrepreneur. And active participation in all fields of business is organized by LiveWire and to enhance individual and business development. So they're expected to share their business interests, skills, and experience. And here we have a mention on AgroBiz. It's a collaboration between Shell LiveWIRE Brunei, IBTE Agro Technology Campus or IBTE Wasan that was formed in 2019. We focus on creating agripreneurs that focus mainly on rice industry and cash crop. The objectives is to commemorate with His Majesty Sultan Haji Hassan Al Bolkiah, Muizzuddin Wadallah, Sultan dan Yang di-Pertuan Negara Brunei Darussalam, titah on elevating the production numbers of country's rice self-sufficiency and to produce 60 skilled young entrepreneurs within 3 years. So the participants consist mainly of IBT Agro Technology Campus students, but it is open to public through Pusat Pembangunan Belia via the AgroBiz Plus program. So you can find more information on this, more updates on this on our AgroBiz department. So here are a few pictures of the AgroBiz event where we have the guest of honor looking into the paddy harvesting process. So again, this is a collaboration within Shell and IBTE. And here we have iCashflow.bn. So this is an innovative mobile app that provides a digital platform for cash flow management for entrepreneurs in Brunei. But individuals might be able to find this useful as well. So it encourages cash flow management habits via a digital platform to reach to the entrepreneurs and startup founders. The main features of the iCashflow BN is it has a simple and efficient data visualization dashboard for cash flow projection and reporting. And the reports can be emailed to your email accounts, which have to be verified. And for now, it's only available for Bruneian Bruneians. So make sure that your country setting for your app is in Brunei. If it's in other settings, then it won't be available in your app. It won't show up in your app store. And it's available on Google Play and Apple App Store. So I'll just pause here for a while. If you want to download the iCashflow.bn app, so just scan. So the QR code on the left is for the Apple App Store, and the QR on the right is for the Google Play. Make sure it clicks. Okay, so that's enough. Okay, next is we recently compiled a list of our alumni in this Shell LiveWIRE Brunei Alumni Profiles ebook. So it also consists of our events and milestones over the course of operations for the past 20 years. This is again to commemorate our 20th year anniversary. It is available as a digital copy that is available on our local website. So on the bottom there, there's the ebook. You can scan the QR code and just view the ebook. So you can again look at the programs available. So what I've shared earlier, you can read up more on them, and then you can read more in detail of our milestones, and you can find out more of our selected alumni. Okay, finally, if you want to contact LiveWire or you want to get more information, you can go visit us at Unit 1 and 2, Block A, Kampung Kiarong, Jalan Pasar Baru Gadong, Bandar Seri Begawan, BE 1318, Brunei Darussalam. Generally, it's the Progressive Headquarters building next to the Gadong/Kiarong roundabout. So you can also check on our website, livewirebrunei.com. And you can also look at our social media at Instagram or on Facebook at LiveWire Brunei. Alternatively, you can scan the QR code. I think that will lead to the LiveWire website. Okay, so that basically ends the stream. Just a reminder, these are the topics that we will have for the next few months. So if you have any feedback on what you want, what you expect to see, please share on the comments or the chat. Any questions? No questions? Okay. So time now is 3:30, so it's almost exactly 1 hour from our starting time. Okay. So if no questions, then I think we can end the session. Checking back with the back end. So back end, macam nak stop there. Okay. So thank you very much for checking us out. So this either some parts of this will be available still online, and we'll probably include them as snippets, so you can look at them via categories or the subtopics. Okay. Thank you very much. So let's. Uh, so for those who have watched, thank you very much. And for those who are watching the recording, I hope you can add comments so that we can check out any feedback on these recordings. Thank you very much. Bye.